Cool. All right, we are joined by Texas head coach Mike White and players Tegan Cavan, Katie Stewart, and Mac Morgan. A reminder to please silence your cell phones, give your name and media affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. No recording of the press conference with your cell phone is allowed. If you're on the Zoom and you want to ask a question, use the raise hand function. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach White, go to questions just for players, dismiss the players, and then go back to questions just for Coach White. So if you have an opening statement, feel free.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Tennessee on a great season. Obviously, it's not finishing the way they wanted to finish for sure, but Colin Pickens is a real warrior out there and threw her heart out for her team. Unfortunately, we were on the right side of it. We had just enough wind to help that home run go over, so that was fortunate there. If someone was looking down on us, I think maybe Tegan's grandma. So she puffed one out there. But, I also like to thank my coaching staff for doing a tremendous job, scouting those teams we've played so far and looking forward to the next matchup.
Okay, questions for players? Okay, we start front row left.
Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. Mac, you had some ups and downs late in the season, but these last two games against Clemson and today, what's been working for you mentally? What did you change? What's been the difference?
It's like I have nothing to lose. It's my last year. It's my last time out here, and I'm gonna enjoy it and just being out there and doing my job and competing.
Okay, front row right, Brady.
Brady Vernon, South America. Just Katie, having faced Pickens earlier in the season, was there anything particular you guys were trying to do really well, and just what kind of went into the home run swing rather than just the wind?
Yeah, our whole game plan just centered around being on time, and so just simply making our swing simple enough, just get on time because she's going to throw hard, and that was my whole approach at the plate, all three at-bats.
We'll go second row right to Jake.
Katie, how does it feel to be back in this position after getting so close last year now with the chance to win that national championship?
It feels really good. This team, everyone, I love them so much, and I love this for us, and we're going to keep playing for each other and start where we left off.
Okay, front row right, Brady again.
Brady Brennan, Softball America. Just for any of you, just the way Saturday went, there was just a lot of emotional highs, and just how was it to kind of stay focused on this game, and how much being in last year's World Series helped with that?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of experience. Our whole team has a lot of experience, and so using that, leaning on each other and bringing those that haven't been here with us, but really just leaning on each other. We can't go anywhere without every single one of us, and so leaning in, using what we learned last year, because obviously we know what it feels like to not end up on top, and so obviously kind of flushing that, but also using it.
Yeah, what Tegan said, just playing for something more than ourselves, and so not worrying about things that don't matter other than playing for each other and playing for our goals.
Yeah, I agree with them. It's just like we're focusing on ourselves and on each other and like picking each other up when we need it and then just going out there and competing as a team.
Okay, front row left.
Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. Tegan and Mac, when did you guys know Mike's plan for pitching today? Tegan, how did you approach it mentally, coming in relief? And also for all three of you, Oklahoma, Tech. What's your thoughts on watching that game tonight?
Do you want to say?
I think it's going to be a good game between them. I mean, they're both really good teams, and it's going to be a dogfight for them. But I think it's going to be an exciting year for this World Series.
Yeah, Coach White told us this morning Mac was starting, and then when he got to the field, it was Mac's gonna give her all, and then might be handed off to me if we needed it. And so just staying locked in. I think every single one of our pitchers needed to stay locked in because I didn't know who was gonna necessarily end up with. And so Mac pitched her heart out too for us, and she came up big. And so I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, just watching this game later, not being too worried about who we want to win, and just being prepared for whoever does win, and knowing their pitchers and sticking with our game plans.
Okay, we go second row left.
Tim Willard, Associated Press. Coach, I wanted to ask you about
Just players right now.
Oh, just players right now. I will come back.
I can't wait.
Any more questions for players? Okay, we go Jake again, second row right.
Yeah, you're either going to play the four-time defending national champion or potentially one of the most dominant pitchers we've seen. What kind of challenge are you guys going to have ahead looking to the championship series?
I think go ahead.
I mean, we've played both of them already, and so obviously using what we learned from those games. But I think it's more focused on us and what we can do and not necessarily on them and focusing on our strengths.
Yeah, I agree. I think our biggest challenge is focusing on ourselves in this big three-game series and just, relying on each other and what we've done all year.
What they both said, we're a different team than we were back in February when we last played Tech, and so just sticking to what we're doing now and staying how we are, just sticking with our game plans, I think we'll be just fine.
Any more questions for players? Okay, front row left.
Cora Hall with the Knoxville News Sentinel. For both, Mac and Tegan, what was kind of going into your mind this game facing this Tennessee offense that has really improved throughout the tournament and performed pretty well here? Because what was kind of top of your mind to try to stop that?
Top of my mind was just go out there and compete and try to do my job the best I can that day, and I gave my everything, and we both did pretty well. Tegan went out there and shut the door, and she really proud of her for how she competed this season.
Yeah, I was going to say just competing. Obviously, when I go up there with a one-run lead, I was trying to just tell myself I don't have to be perfect because I think in that moment it's kind of what you feel like you need to be. But just trusting my defense, they came up big for me, and so it doesn't have to all be on my shoulders.
Okay, that'll wrap things up, players. Thank you. You guys are dismissed. Questions for Coach White? Okay, we'll go back second row left again.
Yeah, Tim Willard, Associated Press. Coach, I wanted to ask you what transpired with the hitting coach from Tennessee in the fourth inning. He came out, looked pretty heated. It looked like he was directing his comments towards your dugout. Could you talk about what happened there?
I can't really comment on that. I don't really know what happened, transpired. I think he was upset about the call by the umpire at home plate, and it just kind of transpired about that. But, the rule says that any time an assistant coach hits the field and questions something, it's an automatic ejection. So I think that's what he was upset about. So then he just decided maybe to take some stuff out on us.
Okay, front row right.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Mac has had her ups and downs this year, but what really instilled your confidence in her to kind of go out today and do what she really did?
I think, as she mentioned, she's a senior, and she wants it, and she wants that redemption. And she's like one of those kids that just lets stuff flow off of her. She's not going to dwell on what happened in the past, and we talked about that. Everyone needs to be where their feet are and be ready to contribute to the team and the program, and it's always team before me, and she's an epitome of that.
Okay, front row left.
Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. Mike, could this tournament have gone any better for you up to this point? You've played the minimum number of games, a short game. You got Tegan a little rest. I mean, are you kind of pinching yourself about how good things are going right now?
I'll let you know in 2 days, 3 days. So, the end of the week. I mean, it's great. We were in the we were in one half of the bracket with our lives intact, and obviously in the final series, best of three. That's what matters the most, and things have gone pretty well. But we also had to play some really tough teams and come through some squeakers and produce when we had to. Obviously, today we knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel. Pickens is a warrior, and she's thrown a lot out there, and she continued to battle us till the end there. And we knew we had to. Fortunately, we had a great performance by Mac Morgan and, of course, Tegan Cavan. And so things did work out the way we planned, and that's why I said hats off to my coaching staff for, kind of one is we talked about who we were going to start, and that was the plan, and it kind of worked out. So, but the players can make you look good or make you look bad. So, but the players made us look good.
Okay, front row right, Brady.
Brady Brennan, Softball America. Leanne had that really good play in the 7th as well. And you guys had made that change to bring her back to short in the Super Regionals. How big has she really helped the defense kind of stabilize in the postseason?
Yeah, I think she's maturing as she's going along. I mean, I don't know. Her at bat was a little scary in the top of the bottom of the 6th there, and but we've talked about that. You got to let it release and worry about the defensive side of things. And she showed that today. That was just an amazing play at a big time for us. And then same with Mia on the left side as well. So, I know people have questioned our defense sometimes, but they kind of shone out today for sure.
Okay, front row left.
Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. Did you think Stewart's shot in the 4th or whatever it was going to go out? And then also tonight, how do you watch the game? Like, do you get together with your assistants? Like, what's your plans for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that ball was high in the air, and you just never know. You see the wind can carry it sometimes, and just saw it drifting, and didn't really know until it went over the fence. And fortunately, it went over by a few feet. So we're very blessed there, of course. Tonight's game, I hope it goes 32 innings. So then battle it out. Maybe 2 games, I don't know, but. It's tough to say who we want to play. I mean, we're just fortunate to be where we're at. We're going to worry about what happens when it happens, and obviously, Oklahoma's the 4-time defending champion, great team, well coached. They've got plenty of pitching left for sure, and of course, Nigel Kennedy has proven she's the best pitcher in the country right now with her .81 ERA. I mean, tough to score off. And of course, Tech is playing hot. They believe in themselves, but so do we. So we're looking for a really good matchup.
Okay, we'll stay front row left.
Cora Hall, the Knox News Sentinel. Tennessee had scored in the first inning, the last 5 games going into today. What was kind of the key for you guys in shutting that down early with Mac?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've been swinging the bats pretty well, and and they beat us 2 out of 3 in Austin too. So we know when Pickens is on the mound, it's going to be a low-scoring game for sure. And so it really was just throwing to our locations and using our defense, and we were able to do that. But you're just hoping that you don't get too far behind when that happens. But Mac Morgan's up to the task, and just so proud of the way she battled for us today against a really good hitting team.
Any more questions? Okay, we go front row right.
Hey, Coach, Lauren Marola with The Athletic. Do you think this is some of Tegan's best softball of her career, or have you seen business as usual for her here in this World Series?
It's tough to say. I mean, she started the season off really hot and then went through a little bit of a patch, and we've always talked about being a bit of a roller coaster. But we kind of discussed it, and she's real cerebral and wants to think about, the reasons why things are not going well. And we hit on a couple of things, and I think she's really tightened things up a little bit. Allowing and knowing her break on her ball for one was it, and then using all her pitches. And Patty Ruth Taylor's been doing a great job for us with the pitch calling as well. So I think there's a number of things that go into it, well, not just one thing, but it is Tegan Cavan is really, she could be dwelling on what could have been or what wasn't. And it is what it is right now. We're in the finals of the College World Series.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And a reminder, Texas will be back here for a press conference at noon tomorrow, and the winner of tonight's game will be here at 12:30 tomorrow. All right, we were joined by Tennessee head coach Karen Weekly and players Laura Mueller, McKenna Gibson, and Carlin Pickens. A reminder to please silence your cell phones and to give your name and media affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. Recording the press conference video with your cell phones prohibited. Make sure to use the raise hand function on Zoom if you want to ask a question. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Weekly, go to questions just for players, dismiss the players, and go back to questions just for Coach Weekly. So if you have an opening statement, feel free.
Well, congratulations to Texas. Outstanding program. Played a great game. Thank you to everybody involved, NCAA, that makes this such an amazing event. Each year it just gets better and better. But I think my heart is full because of the young ladies to my right and the young ladies in that locker room. They're sad for all the right reasons. It's not about wins and losses. It's about the joy they experience being together every single day. And I think people saw that in the way we played. They saw them bounce back. They saw how resilient, how gritty and tough they were. This has been a group that has been just so much fun to coach because they allowed us to coach them. And everything we asked of them all through the season, they bought in completely and just made it really, really fun. And my office in our clubhouse is right by the front door, and every one of these guys, they walk in and they have a smile on their face and they greet you. And when you get to, I can't even call it going to work, but when you get to go to work with people like that, there's not a bad day. There's not a bad day. And today we want to be playing another day, but it's not a bad day at all. We just wish we were going to be together again tomorrow, and I think that's the sentiment you'll hear from our seniors. Just sad they're not going to be with their friends again, playing ball.
Okay, we'll start questions for players from our left.
Cora Hall with the Knoxville News Sentinel. For all three of you guys, could you kind of share your perspective on what Karen was just talking about the joy this team played with and what it meant to for McKenna and Laura to reach the World Series semifinal again in your senior season?
This team has meant everything to me this season. These girls, they're the reason why I fell in love with this sport again, and the way that we pour into each other is like no other, and we support each other no matter what. And I think exactly what Karen said, it sucks to lose either way, but I'm just sad that we don't have another day to play with each other and to support each other. This team is literally everything to me. They're my sisters for life now, and I'm so proud to be on this stage my senior year, so proud of the way that we've fought this season, and so proud to be a Lady Vol for life.
Yeah, it was a great season all around for all of us. The ups, the downs, we went through it together and tried to have just the most fun we could have every day, no matter what was going on, and just being able to finish my career here with these people was amazing.
Yeah, just a very, very special group of girls, coaches, everything. I think this year was just so much fun. We love each other so much and just wanted another day together.
Okay, we'll stay front row left.
Trevor McGee, the Daily Beacon. For all three of you, the motto this week has been to play with no regrets. Would you say you left with that motto staying true?
Absolutely. I mean, even just from the first game we played against OU, obviously the result was what it was, but even during that game, you could tell we were giving it our all and we were surrendering the outcome no matter what. And we were constantly reminding each other, story's already written, God's got us, just play free, play for each other to play another day. And you saw that fight throughout our next few games. And even today, the results were different, but we didn't take a beat off. We didn't take no energy off of each other. So absolutely, I feel like we kept that throughout this entire week.
Yeah, I agree. I think 1 through 25, all of us gave everything we had for this entire week.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I think you saw what we're all about this week, just playing completely free, leaving it all on the field, and it was really cool to be a part of that and to see that.
Okay, front row right, Brady.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Just McKenna, having been here as a sophomore, and you guys have a lot of good young hitters that are projected to come back, what kind of advice could you share to them to not take this trip for granted and how you kind of grow from that going forward?
Say enjoy it. I mean, it was a great opportunity for us to be here, be one of the 8 teams standing in the season, and you see so many people at home watching, and that was kind of just our thing this week was enjoy the moment, embrace the stage that you're on, because you don't always get that opportunity. You fight like hell throughout the season to get here, and I'm just so proud to have been here twice in my career and to finish where we did. And obviously you want to end up standing last team standing with that trophy, but I'm more than fulfilled to be here, especially with this group of girls. And I'm so proud of everyone on this team for what they've done, how they've grown throughout the season, and just to end it here, it's super special.
Any more questions for players? Okay, front row left.
Carlin, I know you have one more year here with Tennessee, but I mean, you love this program. I know that you take so much pride in being a Lady Vol. You could go anywhere. What is it about Tennessee that you love so much?
Is everything an answer? I adore everything about being a Lady Vol, everything it stands for, the community, the place it's at. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Vol for life.
Any more questions for players? Okay, thank you, players. You're dismissed. And you can take your name cards if you'd like to. Questions for Coach Weekly? Okay, we go front row left.
Cora Hall with the Knoxville News Sentinel. Just didn't feel like you guys had it today offensively. What was different today about, you just got a hit in the first inning, first couple innings, just what was different about facing Morgan this time?
Well, she did a really good job of keeping her drop ball, low, didn't really miss a whole lot. Worked with the zone she got very effectively. And, you're facing a great team. Like a great team. I mean, you're in the Final Four of the World Series. You're at the World Series. You're facing great teams. And certainly as you inch closer and closer and closer to, the final two, it's just great softball. And I thought she did a really good job and pitched a really good game. And I thought we battled. And, the key is, can you string a few things together? And that we just weren't able to do that. I don't think we had too many. I don't know if we had a leadoff runner on, maybe once. But we just weren't really able to string anything together, but it wasn't for lack of fight.
Okay, we go front row right.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Just today's home run ball was a little bit wonky with the win, but Carlin only gave up, I think, 6 coming into this event, and it's been 6 the last few outings. Is it just as simple as chalking up to good hitters making good on mistakes?
I think that's a lot of it, yeah. I mean, again, this is the best of the best. And so we face some exceptional offenses. We face OU, and then we face Florida, and then we face UCLA, and then we face Texas. I can't give you statistics, but you could put those in the top 5 offenses in the country. So, yeah, I mean, but I can't say enough good things about Carlin. I don't think anybody else would have bounced back from Thursday night quite the way that young lady did. And that exemplifies what we're all about at Tennessee. And I am so proud of her and so proud of all of them for coming back from that. I think everybody counted us out. Everybody did. And we proved them wrong.
Okay, we go front row left.
Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. You're talking about Carla. I mean, she just seemed like a machine, seemed like she could throw all day long. Mike had the luxury of not starting Tegan. Did you consider not starting her at all, or did you know you're going with her the whole time?
No, I think it's a different approach when you're in Texas's shoes where you're not facing an elimination game, So, yeah, I mean, if we get to 2 games, we're probably going to, see some other pitchers out there for us. But, going into today, Carlin's going to get a game and maybe a little bit more than 1 game, and you can't wait for it to be game number 2. You've got to go get game 1. So I wasn't really surprised at his strategy because I think he was in a position to do that, and it worked well for them.
Okay, we stay front row left.
Cora Hall with the Knox News Sentinel. Karen, just wanted to ask what you saw on the when Craig got ejected, and any perspective you can share on that whole situation.
I really didn't hear what was said, and I didn't think he came too far out of the dugout. There's a rule about if assistants come out and argue that things are automatic, and I don't know, you would hope that, you get a little bit of leeway because of the stage you're on right here. You certainly don't want to lose a coach when you're playing for, the biggest game of the season.
Okay, we'll stay front row left.
Trevor McGee, the Daily Beacon. Karen, you heard what the players had to say about leaving with no regrets. Would you also say that you thought your team left here with no regrets?
Absolutely, without a doubt. And, the values in our program, it's, be your best, most competitive self in all you do. That's our mission. And you preach and preach and preach all the character traits to do that. You hope they're listening. And I think we saw over these last couple weeks that they really were, and they were really buying in. And, the outside world just wants to bombard them about their results. Everybody wants to talk about, did you win? Did you lose? Did you get a hit? Did you not? Did you strike her out? Did you not? And it's just all results, results, results. And what we try to talk about 100% is process. Control what you can control. And I just love Boo saying we surrendered the outcome. When I hear our players say we surrendered the outcome, then I know that we were exactly where we needed to be. And yes, we played freely and have no regrets.
Okay, second row left.
Coach Tim Willard, Associated Press. Don't want to beat a dead horse here, but to follow up on what Cora just asked you, did your coach share anything with you? Was there, do you know why he went out there, why he got as upset as he did? I know you said you didn't hear what he said, but did he share anything about why he was upset with you before he went out there?
I think he was frustrated with the strike zone.
Okay, last one, front row left here.
You guys made it to the semifinals in 2023, semifinals again this year. Just for you, I know maybe hard to answer in the moment, but just what do you feel like needs to change or improve next year to take that next step and get to the championship series?
Well, it's a lot more challenging, of course, when you get in the loser's bracket. And 23, we won the first game and then lost the second one. And, this time around we lost the first one and then, clawed our way to today. So I think even though it's been done, it's a different road when you can stay in that winner's bracket. And especially now, see, 2023, I don't think we had this format where we were extending the championship to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you add that day off. And I think that's the key about winning is play, day off, play, day off, play, day off. And that makes a big difference, and I'm not making excuses, but you asked the question, right? But that makes a big difference when you can kind of get into that routine and that cycle. And, but you got to take care of your business on the field in order to keep yourself in the winner's bracket.
Okay, then wrap things up. Thank you.
Thank you.